It now appears that the Planet X system is becoming more visible by the day, as it is now rising to the ecliptic and being captured by observatories and sky cameras in parts of the northern hemisphere. So if this holds true, then the system is beginning to move further from the Sun and in an orbit which will bring it much closer to the Earth. I'm going to show you a compilation series of images that were taken yesterday, June 27th, from an Alaska webcam facing both east and southeast. The first two segments are the original webcam capture, and the last segment of images were enhanced and darkened to show the incoming planet. These images are definitely showing a red winged globe comet-like entity. But what is equally interesting about these images is that they are showing an incredible fiery ring around the Sun, which most likely is created by the cosmic dust tail of Planet X, which produces a red iron oxide dust particle, the same substance that encloaks the planet Nibiru, which is the outermost body of the Planet X system.
For more rain after historic flooding killed at least 25 people. Those floods in the past week swamped hundreds of homes as well as cars and roads. The National Weather Service says an event like this only happens once in 1,000 years. Chris Van Cleve is in Clendenin, West Virginia, where a community lost everything. Chris, good morning.
Good morning. This is a scene you see entirely too often here in West Virginia. There used to be 3 homes here. Right now, just one is sort of still standing. The house over here, some of it ended up here. The rest of it sucked into the creek here, ended up about a quarter mile away. Damage assessment teams will be out across the state to try to get a sense for the scope of this damage. That, as the entire region is under a flash flood watch because more rain is coming to West Virginia.
March 6, 2017, I took a trip down to Massachusetts today, and there was a literal assault on the sky with the chemtrails. And so I just pulled out my camera and, just started filming a little bit. And I was really focused on the chemtrails, but as you'll see, I think there's something in that video, something more than chemtrails, which I'll show you in a second. And this was actually on the way home. I was just like, oh my God. Like, if you don't look up at the sky, I mean, you could literally just drive down the road and not even see that. And I was just like, how could you look at that and not think something was bizarre? I mean, it's the kind of stuff you used to see when you go to like an air show, This is later in the afternoon at about 6 o'clock. And they were still hammering the sky. This is back up in Vermont now. And obviously trying to hide something right there, I believe. So this is back to that clip again. And I'm showing you this because there's an object that you'll see. Okay, right there on the right-hand side is a planet, I do believe. It's the kind of thing where you get the sun in your eyes, and later on when you go back and you look at your film, you're like, what's film? Go back and look at your video, and it's like, wow. there's an object. So, I mean, I realize it's not overly conclusive. However, if I could corroborate it with something else, then I would say definitively it is. So that's what I'm going to do here in a second. You know, if the chemtrails were just streaking across the sky and all that, you know, that'd be one thing. But the fact that they crisscross them and line them up and all that just proves to me that they're hiding something. That this is not just a fluke of geoengineering or even just spraying us with chemicals. This is definitely obfuscating, without a doubt. I mean, there may be multiple purposes, but when they crisscross and do all this stuff, that is to hide something for sure. So here we zoom in on the object a little bit. I realize you could say it's just a cloud. I decided to select Honolulu, looking to the southwest. Pretty much the exact same spot that those chemtrails were and that object of interest. And so going forward, bam, right there. There's my object. Confirmed. And this is the same airport, Honolulu. This is at 3:30 in the afternoon. Looking to the west. And this is what they were hiding all day. Or trying to hide. Something about pulling out your own camera, and you know, even though, I mean, this is very compelling and everything, it's just something about pulling out your own camera and, you know, and seeing the object yourself or filming it yourself. So, sure enough, look at that thing rolling over. Look at that. Unbelievable. All right, this is just so unbelievable. I decided to zoom in on it and show it to you a little closer up. I mean, there is no doubt that that is a planet that is rolling. It has ridges, it has craters. I mean, this is, once again, irrefutable. It really is. Hey, NASA, is this one of your exoplanets? Alright, so I'm sure you guys have heard about the lens flare, the lensing system that Jeff P talks about and everything. And well, here here it is in action. And those look like the lenses that are there to try and diffuse the light, refract, obscure, redirect, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, they don't move, they don't roll. And I suppose you could call these lens flares. Oh, but there is the object in the back. Very interesting. See it rolling and spinning? Unlike the Bausch and Lomb lenses that are right there. That's being used to hide the planet. Crazy. Well, I can't have a video without a flying saucer or a UFO. Right here. This is the Stellar Skies, Pontotoc, Texas. We have a disc-shaped object coming out of the sun. Some people say that the sun is a Stargate. Well, based on the fact that we have a spaceship coming out of the sun, yeah, I think it is. So, Patty L. Broussard was very matter of fact about the fact that the sun is a Stargate. And Corey Good, David Wilcock. It's pretty crazy stuff going on out there, guys. But that sure looks like a spaceship to me. So I'm going to blow it up here and slow it down so you can have a better look at my spaceship coming out of the sun. And now that I'm doing this, it almost appears that there's, like as if this has the sun simulator in front of the sun. Or at least there's another object behind this white object, but it looks hexagonal, so I'm thinking that that's actually a sun simulator in front of the real sun. It is being drained. Yeah, one of my subs actually sent this in. This is wow, that's about as clear as I've ever seen this object in Misty Fords, Alaska. That's wild. Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.
June 24th, about 8:30 p.m. right now. I'm driving east on Horsetooth Road here in Fort Collins, Colorado. As you can see behind me, we got the foothills with the sun setting down behind them, as always, but it's setting a little further north than normal, about 17 degrees further north. And I think that's due to this light source coming from the east right now. It looks like another sunrise at the same time. For those of you who don't know or haven't heard, there's talk about a binary solar system in which we were part of. Nemesis being the red dwarf star of that solar system. I can't say for certain that it is, but this is a very bright light source. It's coming up in the east while I see the sun setting in the west.
Are you watching this? You see the planets here and its atmosphere. Huh. This is just like everything we've been watching all for. Now we're almost watching it in 3D. So, yeah, and what the heck is this? Well, since we've never seen a sun like this. But look at this. As we can see the veil unmasking as it actually go back and forth in time. You can see it. I'll do this a few times. You can even see the atmosphere of these planets. Are you seeing those? Yeah. You know, when you see it one frame at a time, you're not getting it. But when you see it go back and forth in time, you see it as it really is. Look at that. One frame at a time, that's what it looks like. One frame over here looks weird. But you go back and forth, you're actually witnessing these ones, smaller ones, are moving much quicker than these bigger planets. These planets here, I believe, are the ones in the triangular orbit. And look at this. If you just see the snapshot, you're not going to see the whole picture. But as the veil's coming off, well, look how that thing forms a perfect circle as the light bends around it. Remember, I don't think red is not very friendly for bending because of its magnetic field is larger than the others.